Jennifer Garner just dropped a bombshell that could destroy Blake Lively's perfect image forever. For years, Hollywood believed Blake was America's sweetheart, but Jennifer says we've all been lied to. The shocking truth? Blake Lively allegedly had a secret affair with Ben Affleck while he was still married to Jennifer. And Jennifer isn't the only one exposing her. Other A-listers are finally speaking out. Fans are stunned. Hollywood is in shock, and trust me, the details of this scandal are even worse than you think. So what really happened behind the scenes? Let's break it all down because this story is insane. Hollywood has always adored Blake. She's charming, effortlessly stylish, and carefully polished in the public eye. But behind the scenes, it's a different story. Some of the industry's biggest names, Scarlett Johansson, Anna Kendrick, and even Kate Middleton, have reportedly kept their distance. And now, the truth about why is beginning to surface. For Jennifer, it all started in 2010, when Ben Affleck cast the then 23-year-old Blake as his love interest in The Town. On the surface, it was just another casting decision. But to Jennifer, it was a warning sign. Something shifted the moment Blake entered the picture. Flirty conversations, lingering glances, and a growing closeness that went beyond the script. Around the same time, Blake mysteriously ended things with her longtime boyfriend, Gossip Girl co-star Penn Badgley. Coincidence? Jennifer wasn't so sure. Was she reading too much into it, or was history repeating itself? Because long before she became Mrs. Affleck, Jennifer had been in a very similar situation, and that realization changed everything. What happened next sent Jennifer into full-on damage control mode. But was it already too late? Jennifer had seen this pattern before, a co-star, a connection, a marriage in trouble. But this time, she wasn't just watching from the sidelines. She was the one at risk of losing everything. It all started in 2010 when Ben Affleck handpicked Blake Lively to play his love interest in The Town. On paper, it was just another casting decision. But for Jennifer, it felt personal. Ben wasn't just starring in the film, he was directing it, which meant he had full control over who got the role, how the scenes played out, and just how close he and his co-star would get. Blake was just 23 at the time, 15 years younger than Ben, but their on-screen chemistry was undeniable. And according to those who worked on the set, it didn't stop when the cameras weren't rolling. Their interactions seemed effortless, playful, and at times a little too comfortable for a man who was very much married. Then something strange happened. Right in the middle of filming, Blake abruptly ended things with her longtime boyfriend, Gossip Girl co-star Penn Badgley. No explanation, no public fallout, just a clean break. To outsiders, it may have seemed like an innocent coincidence, but Jennifer had learned the hard way. Hollywood romances don't always start in front of the cameras. Sometimes the real story happens behind the scenes. And for Jennifer, this wasn't just about Blake, it was about Ben. Because years earlier, he had fallen for a different co-star. And that relationship, it had changed Jennifer's life forever. What happened next forced Jennifer to make an impossible choice, and the fallout was worse than she ever imagined. Jennifer had seen this play out before, the quiet shift, the off-screen chemistry, the late-night conversations disguised as work. But this time, she wasn't just an outsider watching it happen. This time, it was her marriage that was at stake. Back in 2003, before she was Mrs. Affleck, Jennifer had been on the other side of a very similar story. Ben was engaged to Jennifer Lopez, a Hollywood power couple everyone assumed would go the distance. But then, things changed. Ben and Jennifer Garner co-starred in Daredevil, and suddenly, their on-screen chemistry wasn't just acting. Not long after, his engagement to J.Lo ended, and within months, he and Jennifer Garner were a full-fledged couple. At the time, it all felt like fate. Maybe their love story was just meant to be. But now, standing in the same position J.Lo had been all those years ago, Jennifer couldn't ignore the irony. Blake wasn't the first woman Ben had shared undeniable chemistry with on set, and Jennifer knew better than anyone. When Ben Affleck feels a spark, it doesn't always stay confined to the screen. She wasn't about to let history repeat itself, so she did something she had never done before. A source revealed at the time, Jennifer didn't want Ben anywhere near Blake Lively. After what happened during The Town, she knew she had every reason to keep her husband away from her. She was determined to protect her marriage, but what happened next was out of her control, because just when it seemed like things were settling down, Ben's next move shattered everything. Jennifer fought for her marriage. She set boundaries. She warned Ben. It didn't matter. By 2014, the cracks were too deep. Then, in 2015, the scandal that sealed their fate. Ben's alleged affair with the nanny. That was it. After a decade together, Jennifer walked away. Their divorce was finalized in 2018. To the public, it was amicable. Behind closed doors, she was shattered. Meanwhile, Blake had moved on, living her fairy tale with Ryan Reynolds. But Jennifer, she never forgot. Because Hollywood may forgive and forget, but Jennifer Garner, she had her own way of keeping score. And when she finally crossed paths with Blake's husband, things got awkward fast. Jennifer wasn't the only one keeping her distance. Blake Lively may have mastered the art of appearing effortlessly likable, but behind the scenes, not everyone is a fan. Over the years, she's reportedly clashed with some of Hollywood's biggest names, including Scarlett Johansson, Anna Kendrick, and even Kate Middleton. Let's start with Scarlett Johansson. Back in 2010, Scarlett was married to Ryan Reynolds, and to the outside world, they seemed like a solid couple. But that same year, year, Ryan starred alongside Blake in Green Lantern, and shortly after, his marriage to Scarlett was over. Within months, Blake and Ryan were officially dating. Was it just bad timing? Maybe. But Hollywood insiders have long whispered that Scarlett has never forgiven Blake for how quickly things unfolded. Then there's Anna Kendrick. On screen, their dynamic in A Simple Favor was electric. Off screen, not so much. Reports from the set claimed that Blake was difficult to work with, showing up late, making demands, and clashing with Anna so much that they barely spoke when the cameras weren't rolling. Fans even noticed their awkward energy during interviews, leading many to speculate that their feud was real. But perhaps the most unexpected name on this list, Kate Middleton. In 2024, when the Princess of Wales faced backlash over a poorly edited family photo, Blake seized the moment. She posted a heavily edited photo of herself with the caption, "Totally not photoshopped, zero editing whatsoever, just flawless and perfect." To many, it was a thinly veiled jab at Kate's PR nightmare, and the timing couldn't have been worse. Kate was recovering from major surgery at the time. While the royal family remained silent, sources claimed the move was seen as tasteless and opportunistic. One or two feuds could be dismissed as misunderstandings, but a pattern? That's harder to ignore. And if you thought this was bad, just wait until you hear how Blake's past relationships played into the drama. Blake had moved on, Jennifer had moved on, or had she? While Jennifer Garner has never publicly spoken about Blake Lively, her actions over the years have sent a very clear message. She wants nothing to do with her, and fans have noticed. Take 2018, for example. Jennifer worked alongside Ryan Reynolds in The Adam Project, a film that had plenty of press opportunities. Yet despite Ryan being married to Blake, Jennifer never once interacted with her, on or off camera. No interviews, no casual run-ins, nothing. Then, when Jennifer reprised her role as Elektra for Deadpool and Wolverine, people expected her to finally cross paths with Blake at industry events. But once again, she made sure that never happened. Coincidence? Maybe, but sources close to Jennifer say otherwise. She doesn't have time for fake friendships, one insider revealed. She'll work with Ryan, but when it comes to Blake, she'd rather avoid the situation entirely. Jennifer is known for being warm, professional, and unproblematic. So if she's making an effort to distance herself from someone, there's usually a good reason. And she's not the only one keeping her distance, because even Hollywood's elite have started questioning whether Blake's squeaky clean image is as real as it seems. And what they've uncovered, it changes everything. For years, Blake Lively has crafted the perfect Hollywood persona, charming, stylish, and scandal-free. But cracks are starting to show. She's always managed to dodge controversy, keeping her reputation spotless while others took the heat. But now, with past feuds resurfacing, subtle jabs at A-listers, and rumors of behind-the-scenes tension, people are starting to ask, is Blake really the sweetheart she appears to be? Her ability to avoid backlash has been almost too perfect. Unlike other stars, she's rarely been caught in major drama. When messy breakups or questionable career moves happened, she always emerged unscathed, untouched by the scandals that swallowed up her peers. But now, it's different. From lingering tensions with Scarlett Johansson to her awkward silence around Jennifer Garner, it's becoming harder to ignore the pattern. And let's not forget her recent swipe at Kate Middleton, a move that many found downright unnecessary. Blake has spent years perfecting her image, but in Hollywood, secrets don't stay buried forever. And the next revelation, it just might be the one that changes everything. Blake Lively's perfectly curated image has shielded her from most Hollywood drama. But now, the cracks aren't just showing, they're widening. Her feuds with A-listers were one thing, but now she's caught up in something even messier, a legal battle that's turning heads in the industry. At the center of it all, it ends with Us, the highly anticipated film adaptation of Colleen Hoover's best-selling novel. What was supposed to be another big career move for Blake has turned into a nightmare, with reports of behind-the-scenes chaos, creative disputes, and a brewing legal mess involving co-star and producer Justin Baldoni. Hollywood is watching closely, and suddenly, people are questioning whether Blake is as easygoing and professional as she appears. For the first time, she's under real scrutiny. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get worse, a major revelation about her past relationships is about to change everything. Blake Lively has always seemed untouchable. No scandals, no public meltdowns, just the perfect Hollywood fairy tale. But every fairy tale has its cracks. Between her rumored feuds, awkward Hollywood tensions, and now a legal battle over It Ends With Us, things aren't looking as polished as they once did. For years, Blake has avoided controversy while others around her took the fall. But now the spotlight is turning on her, and the question is, can she handle the heat? Her reputation as Hollywood's sweetheart is being questioned like never before. With industry whispers growing louder and past tensions resurfacing, many are wondering, has Blake been carefully curating her public persona all along? And just when it seemed like things couldn't get worse, a new revelation is about to shake up everything we thought we knew about her. Blake Lively's image has always been carefully polished, effortlessly charming, scandal-free, and untouchable. But now, that once perfect reputation is starting to unravel. With whispers of behind-the-scenes tensions, feuds with Hollywood's elite, and even a legal battle stirring up controversy, people are questioning if Blake is truly the all-American sweetheart she appears to be, or if she's simply mastered the art of staying one step step ahead of the drama. Has she carefully curated her career to avoid blame while others take the fall? Or is she just another victim of Hollywood gossip, unfairly painted as the villain? One thing's for sure, the truth about Blake Lively is far more complicated than it seems. And with more eyes on her than ever before, the real question is, can she keep up the act? If you thought this was shocking, just wait. Hollywood's biggest secrets are still unfolding. Do you think Blake Lively has been unfairly judged, or is there more to the story? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear what you think. And while you're here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest celebrity drama. Because trust us, this story is far from over.